Hello there. Have you ever played a chess game online where you've checkmated your opponent with pre-moves because you were so low on time? Well, this game, I pre-moved 13 moves, resulting in checkmate. And at the end of it, I had zero point 0.1 seconds on the clock left. Let's take a look, shall we? This game was a Caro Con. I'm playing with the black pieces. I am currently 1843. My opponent is 1838. And this is a 10-minute rapid game on chess.com. So, I already said we have a Caro Con. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Advance Caro specifically with bishop f5 and g4, which was already strange, right? g4. I've studied a little bit on the white side. h4. I'm looking to add this to my my repertoire here. But it's very similar. We basically transpose. There's lines, with h6 and bishop. The bishop gets kicked around and stuff like that. And that's very similar to what happens in the game. We see g4 just hits the bishop first. I go here, kind of provoking f3. I'm like, you know what? You want to make some dark squared weaknesses? Go ahead. And then I go back. And then he pushes h4. So it basically transposes here. Get h6 and bishop back to h7. So he develops his knight to e2, which is a bit strange, I mean, it's kind of why I provoked f3 is so that the knight can't go there. But I feel like the bishop wants to get out of here because it's going to get trapped behind the pawns, which we see later in the game. The bishop takes a minute to wake up, okay? So he blocks his bishop. I push e6. One very just common move in the Caro, create this, light squared pyramid of pawns here. But the thing is, really, I want to prevent him from going e6. Yeah, this is a pawn sacrifice. Totally valid. The knight is coming in, and here, I think... Let me turn on the engine real quick. I think the eval here is quite literally... Yeah, it's equal. White is, according to the computer... Yeah, it's equal. It's equal. Anyway, let me turn off the computer, or the engine, so my computer doesn't hate me. So the point is you get this attack on the king, right? Because you weaken all of this. My dark squared bishop is going to struggle to get out. And you've got these pawns rolling, right? Here, the computer gives a line like queen here check and go back, sacking the pawn to go king f7. And then the knight goes back and you take here and you like hit everything. But why? I don't have this prepared. I'm not going to bring my king out to f7. So no, I just say, no, I am the one playing e6 here. Me. He brings his knight in front of the c-pawn. Already a bit strange because, usually you want to push either to c4 or defend, if, let's say something like this, and I push this, you're going to want to be able to like get a good pawn chain here some of the time. So knight c3, whatever. Knight d7, just developing. And here I push c5. He's probably looking to castle queenside, and I am trying to break out over here and open a line for my rook and my bishop to team up while, his pieces are kind of asleep and the pawns have kind of been stopped. So he takes, thinking, well, he can't take back, right? Except after knight c6, I can indeed take back. There's no way to defend both pawns here. So you've just split your center, weakened it, and after bishop d4, I take, bishop takes, c5. Now this pawn is weak, and these pawns, I'm not sure what they're doing right now. So castles. Here I snag this pawn, because it is indeed hanging. So I'm up one pawn now. The queen moves. Okay. Why not? Sure. Move the queen. Why? I guess defending the pawn in case I take, take and take. But the reason I was confused is because, it blocks the bishop. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't, I don't know, maybe go here possibly to prepare, these pawns rolling forward. You can always defend like this. But anyway, I take the pawn. He moves his queen. I give a check. This check, just kicks his king around for a second. It activates my queen and just kind of stops these pawns even more. Like now they actually cannot move. So after he moves his king, I castle. And my king is safe. like completely safe. And I think according to the engine, black is already like basically completely winning here. I'm not going to turn it on and waste more time again, but I think around this point it was already +4. It might not be exactly here, but it was pretty similar. Also, it is move 18, and the bishop finally woke up. This bishop, I don't know what happened. It's like when you want to take a 30-minute nap and then you wake up 4 hours later drenched in sweat, but also like insanely thirsty, and you're just like, what year is it? I think that's what this bishop just did. It was like, I'll wake up in like 20 minutes, and then 4 hours go by, and he's like, I gotta get in the game, man. So he develops the bishop, but it's stuck behind all these pawns. I bring my rook into the action. He brings his rook to the center, attacking my knight. I drop it back, and we trade. And already some scattered thinking from my opponent. Scattered thinking meaning he played rook HE1, right? And then we trade knights, and then he plays rook F1. Okay, if you wanted the rook on F1, why wouldn't you just put it on F1 in the first place? The idea here is, to attack the queen. It's a one-move threat, but really it's like a threat of a threat. It's like, I'm going to set up this one-move threat. I don't know. Because you could have just... Anyway, I'm ranting now. The rook goes back. I just stop F4. And he's like, no, I really want to play F4. And I'm like, okay. Okay, what if I let you play F4 and I just double my rooks? And say your rook is stupid on D4, and I'm going to just slaughter you, basically, along the C-file. And that's what happens. I allow F4, and I bring my queen back. And now, as I said, the rook is dumb here, so I attack it. And these pawns can't roll forward. If you try to attack my queen, I just take the rook, and that would be unfortunate. So he goes back, I guess, adding defense to this pawn, which is under quite a bit of pressure here. And I come up with a very nice idea to sacrifice the rook. Trademark, copyright, Gotham Chess, Levy, the rook. Anyway, here I sack the exchange, technically. Not the rook, but it's fine. Why did I do that? Well, I figure I win this pawn, and now material is equal. I get 2 pawns and a knight for the rook, which in this position, I am just crushing here. I mean, I am so close, like a lazy move, and this is checkmate. Like queen B2. I guess here stops that, but that gives up the rook. So, it's nasty. And my rook is coming in as well, and I have the bishop pair just staring down at the king side. So yeah, it's a natural thing you have to see is like my rooks are doubled. The knight is only defended by the pawn, so if I take that, king is going to be very weak. It's going to be very open. So that's what happens. And here he attacks my rook, or my queen, with his rook. And then I give a check. He blocks and attacks my queen again. I snag a pawn here, because that rook was defending the pawn. So I'm getting some goodies in my attack here. And then he attacks my queen again. Well, like threatens a queen trade. Threatens, but I just take. And then he attacks my queen again. It's like, okay, I get it. You're attacking my queen. So I go back, and the attack is not over. Like, pieces are still rolling in. And he goes queen here. I'm not sure why. I guess he's thinking I'm staring at his king now, but you cannot teleport all of your pieces over to the king side, right? You can't just teleport everything over there. Meanwhile, guess who's over here attacking you already, right? So rook c6, bishop back, attacking my queen. And so I move my queen. And the bishop disconnected the queen from the defense of the rook, so I just attack that. And, he sees it, defends it, and offers to trade of bishops. I take that. I take that bishop because now this pawn has one less defender. And also my dark squared bishop is just a killer. I mean, this board is so open, and I am just up 2 points of material. I have what? That's 4 extra pawns then, because, yeah, I have a bishop and 4 pawns for the rook. I go queen h4, threatening this pawn and an infiltration. Here, he just blunders the game. Computer gave, I think, what, queen, what was it? Here to defend the pawn and kind of stop the infiltration, but it's still not good. So I just snag the rook here. Takes. I give a check. He blocks. I take. And notice my clock. At this point, like, I have 21 seconds remaining to win this endgame, which is not that easy to do with no increment, because you gotta pre-move some stuff. So I trade rooks just to eliminate confusing counterplay in low time. And I figure, okay, I am up five pawns. He has 2. I'm winning this game. So I offer a queen trade. He declines, because if he takes the queen, just so you see, like, this is, I literally just pre-move all of this, make 10 queens and checkmate. So it's an exaggeration, but I fully invest in my H pawn here, right? And I again I've like less than 20 seconds, so I don't play this well at all. I blunder the pawn. I push. I'm like, I gotta make a queen, but that gives up the pawn. I give a check and push my other pawns because I've got a bunch of them. So I gave up a pawn, but and all of these pawns, by the way, on the queen side. But I'm still pushing. I figure, okay, so I lost d5. Okay, we got 10 seconds. I'm gonna give a check and defend this pawn. Okay, I'm gonna push the e pawn here. Notice what's happening. A draw, right? We gonna repeat moves? I wanted to. I've got 10 seconds. But he declines the draw, which is funny. Why is that funny? Well, his thought process here is, okay, I'm just gonna flag him. It's that simple. Like, he wants to flag me. He wants me to lose on time, which I'm sure a lot of people would, and I almost did. But I managed to pull it off. Maybe you should have taken the draw. So I push. He pushes. I bring my queen to push. He gives a check. And here's something funny happens. Check. Yeah, that is a free queen. Why he played that, I'm not sure. He played it in 3 seconds, right? When you are low on time and you're about to flag, your opponents will often also play insanely fast just to make it so you don't have time to think. But the thing is, they are also going to blunder when they do that. And here, I don't know if he did this on purpose, thinking he's not going to see that I'm going to take his queen or what, but I just take it. And this is what let me win the game here. I would have lost probably if he hadn't done that. I would have lost on time. But here, I make a queen. Every move from here on out is from this point forward is pre-moved. Every move of mine. So I have to checkmate him because I've got 1.4 seconds. So you have to. There's no way you're going to win this game if you don't pre-move everything. So I pre-move make a queen. I pre-move stop the pawn. I pre-move win the pawn. I pre-move double queens and win this pawn. And I pre-move set up ladder mate. And on move 72, I checkmate white with 0.1 seconds on the clock. Look at that. Oh, man. When that was happening, I did not think I was going to get that in time. I fully pre-moved all of this, right? And I was thinking to myself, because once I got, I think like here, and I had finished pre-moving everything. Once this was on the board, I was sitting back and I was fully like, please let it get through in time. And I was watching my clock go 0.8. 0.7, 0.6 every time a move was made. And I'm like, I just hope I have enough time to get this checkmate through. And I did with 0.1 seconds left on the clock. Oh man, this felt so good. And he must have been so mad. Imagine being this player, right? You lost this, like, he checkmated you in like, what? With all those pre-moves, right? He's got literally less than 1.5 seconds. And you get checkmated in that position. Oh man, that must suck from his perspective. Anyway, thank you for watching this game. If you stuck around the whole time, thank you. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video, like that button. You know, there's a little, you click it and my video goes, ooh, and then it gets shown to more people. And feel free to leave a comment below your thoughts on the video, or if you've got suggestions, comments for future videos, let me know. Hit my mic. Thank you again. I hope you have a great day. All right. See you guys.